Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. I don't know why I started laughing there, but anyway, I don't know, having a fun day today, I guess. BondCrypt, digital asset advocate here, posting this. Okay, Commonwealth Bank's Bankwest to shut down all branches as the company goes digital. Customers are furious as a major regional Australian bank, which is part of the CBA, announced closures of every bank in favor of online banking. So guys, they are shutting down an Australian bank, shutting down all branches. Remember a few years ago when a lot of these big banks were saying, and this was a global phenomenon, probably preparing for the Great Reset, preparing for a new banking structure, saying that, they were going to close down several of their brick and mortar branches. Well, now, guys, many banks are actually just closing down all brick and mortar completely to focus on their online strategy. So Commonwealth Bank's Bankwest is to shut down all branches as the company goes completely digital. If you guys are watching from Australia, I really would like to know, and I mean, especially if you are using this particular bank, I would really like to know if this is how you feel about this, if this is affecting you or affecting somebody you might know. Customers are furious. This is a major regional Australian bank, part of the CBA. They announced closures of every bank in favor of online banking. Bankwest's decision to close its branches to move online has been met with fury by customers. The 130-year-old former Bank of Western Australia has 60 branches. Of those, 45 will close in 15 regional areas and will be rebranded under a banner of Commonwealth Bank, which owns Bankwest. Now, another interesting connection here is that Australia's Commonwealth Bank was the latest to experiment with Ripple way back in 2015. This is when the original trial occurred. So they do have a Ripple connection here. Just thought I'd bring that up because maybe that has to do with why they are, deciding they're realizing, well, the in-house branches might, provide them very, very little business. Not too many people going inside branches these days, other than, for very, very specific reasons. But 90% of the time, day-to-day banking, a lot of people doing this online. So a lot of these big banks are now realizing that and pissing off a lot of customers. Apparently, the bank said the decision followed rapidly changing customer preferences. That's a quote from them. And that the axing of its branch network would unlock a range of long-term benefits for Western Australia. It said that fewer than 2% of its customers visited a branch regularly, and 97% of transactions now occur digitally. So there you go. There's the numbers, 97%. I can see why they do not want to stick around. Probably a money-losing endeavor. So I wanted to thank BondCrypt just for posting that. I mean, the world is changing, guys, especially in finance, and Web3 is also going to play a crucial role in this. Here's one from XRP Drops, the Web3 banking landscape. Okay, companies such as Ripple and Metaco form the foundation for traditional banks due to regulatory frameworks. I happen to see this. Check this out, guys, from this slide, this presentation from the Web3 banking landscape. You guys can see in there Ripple and Metaco, also some Ripple partners in this slide that I can just see offhand, Signum, and I believe there's another one down here, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers. So, part of this system, traditional banks, digital asset banks, fintechs, and financial interim exchanges, technology providers, legal advisors, these are all changing. And, there is one company, one cryptocurrency company predominantly leading the charge, and that is Ripple, using the XRP ledger, leveraging the native token XRP. That is their go-to, guys. Have no doubt that this cryptocurrency is just a sleeping giant as of now. I mean, we are still just in a spec run, and XRP is trading at 62.6. That's not bad. I mean, we are up, well, not as much as we wish we were, 116% since the bottom of the market. But guys, this is still just the beginning, in my opinion. We are seeing this Nike swoosh pattern play out, and that blow off top, guys, in the cards. XRP last and fast, generally speaking. Would there be any other kind of reason why companies like Grayscale are holding XRP? This one from Chad Steingraber. How much XRP does Grayscale actually hold? So the Digital Large Cap Fund recently added XRP, and that means they acquired the asset. So they have a product that is associated with XRP. Therefore, they need to hold it, and they're holding 1.03791215, and that is about 1.76% of the weighted basket. But that means that they currently hold about $9.7 million of XRP, valued at about that as of, Chad Steingraber's tweet here, approximately 16.4 million XRP. So not a huge amount, but, definitely not anything to scoff at either. Chad also brought this up, an earlier tweet that he posted from back in January. Check this out. So pulling on this thread a little bit, what can we learn about the history of ETFs? Are there commonalities relevant to the crypto assets? And here's what they said here. Okay, now keep in mind, again, cryptocurrencies that they hold: BTC, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, ADA, and AVAX. Probably cryptocurrencies where they see are going to have value, going to see utility in the future. I think we are now entering what I call the slope of enlightenment. This is from a Grayscale report, where the early promises of blockchain are increasingly operationalizing and demonstrating real-world utility. So boom goes the dynamite. Real-world utility. Grayscale is on board. They obviously understand what they hold. They obviously see many different types of cryptocurrencies are likely going to be at the forefront of this charge. And XRP obviously is one of them there. So wanted to thank Chad just for posting that. Some more news here, guys, coming from Matthew, LINY, TerraPay, and Al Fardan Exchange are now partnering up for cross-border payments as well. This is the Al Fardan Exchange. This is directly from their website here. All your financial services needs in one place. Check out how many banking partners they have. Over 150 plus banking partners and branches across the UAE, over 85. So this collaboration aims to leverage TerraPay's advanced digital payment infrastructure and Al Fardan Exchange's established presence in Qatar, marking a pivotal moment in the evolution of cross-border remittance solutions. So leveraging TerraPay, again, Al Fardan Exchange is also a Ripple partner. So two Ripple partners here working together. Al Fardan Exchange, a prominent player in the remittance sector, brings experience and a strong commitment to facilitating seamless financial transactions. This partnership is set to provide a host of benefits to Al Fardan Exchange with a focus on leveraging TerraPay's cutting-edge digital payment infrastructure. By joining forces, the two entities aim to facilitate seamless, cost-effective, and efficient cross-border payments to cater to the diverse customer needs. TerraPay officials are excited about partnering with Al Fardan Exchange. Also commenting on the partnerships, representatives from Al Fardan Exchange said that they are happy to partner with TerraPay, adding more valuable services to the existing offerings for customers. They are committed to continually expand their service portfolio in line with their strategic growth objectives. So a very unique position here. Al Fardan Exchange again and TerraPay, both Ripple partners, extending the adoption in that case. This is what we need to see, symbiotic relationships between two, major forces in the space. Technologically, they're also on the same page, so that's always good. Wanted to thank Matt for posting that. Another one here, guys, from Matthew, LINY. Ripple will be a one-stop shop for banks and digital assets. And if you guys didn't catch the video I did just yesterday, could Ripple is it set up to become a global bank? I will link that video up here in the top right-hand corner if you're interested. Well, guys, here's another partnership. DZ Bank has launched its own institutional digital asset custody solution, and they did that late last year. But here's an update. DZ Bank partners with Borsche Stuttgart for crypto solutions for German cooperative banks. They're doing this in conjunction with Metaco Harmonized too. A spokesperson for DZ Bank clarified the difference between the relationships to Ledger's Insight. Regarding the offering based on Metaco Harmonized, they said the current scope is the settlement management and custody of crypto securities as regulated in the German Electronic Securities Act. In the second stage, we plan to broaden the scope to selected crypto assets as regulated by MiCAR. Our offering focuses on institutional clients only. The solution that DZ Bank is building with Borsche Stuttgart focuses on retail clients only. So they have an option for retail clients and one specifically for institutional clients too. Another interesting connection here. And also they mentioned some more Ripple partners here. DZ Bank is the third largest German bank custodian behind BNP Paribas, who is also a Ripple partner, and State Street. The group owns Germany's third largest asset manager in Union Invest, one of the most prolific investors in tokenized securities. So a lot of Ripple connections here, guys, and we're seeing the ecosystem expand, this time in Germany. So I wanted to thank Matt yet again for posting that. Now, did you see this? A little disconcerting from the J. Nelson way, one of the largest world banks. Okay, guys, get this. The Industrial and Commercial Bank of China is withdrawing all funds and closing out one of 4 of its accounts with DTCC on March the 8th. So that is happening tomorrow. Quite a massive move of funds. Think about that. One of the world's largest industrial bank, and this is coming from China, withdrawing all their funds from one of 4. They have 4 accounts, and from one of them, so 25% is moving out tomorrow. And you can see this here. This was listed by DTCC, the Depository Trust Company, and they're a global institution. So here's the documentation here. I don't know what these numbers refer to, but it looks as though they are withdrawing. So is something coming down the pike? Obviously, this is something that makes you go, something to be paying attention to. The other day I was also talking about the BRICS nations, and China is one of those BRICS countries moving away from the traditional method to transfer funds and, starting up their own blockchain solution. This has been in talks for years now, but, considering China is one of these countries now, we're getting more information here, removing funds from one of 4 of their accounts through DTCC. Yeah, I mean, it's no joke. Tokenizing assets too, right? Part of this framework. Here's the BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, explaining it yet again. I know I've showed, a few clips like this in the past of Larry Fink. He has now changed his tune on cryptocurrencies. All valuable assets will be tokenized. This one courtesy of Amelie here on Twitter. And here's Larry Fink saying it again.
Important to be anticipating the next move. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities around bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share.
It seems like as the months go on, Larry Fink just keeps getting more bullish and bullish on tokenization. And, XRP will be at the center of that. Tokenizing on the XRP ledger, well, the XRP ledger and other ledgers. But considering Ripple has been cozy with a lot of these big companies over the years, it only seems fitting, right? Anyway, wanted to thank Amelie for posting that. Now, this is pretty big news from Ann Vandersteel. When Bank of America tells you the dollar is going to collapse, you better listen. Yes, they came out and said it. The banks are bankrupt. There is no reserve. And do you think the FDIC has your back? This one courtesy of Watcher Guru here. He posted this just yesterday. The U.S. national debt is now growing by $1 trillion every 100 days since 2023. And uncontrolled debt could lead to a financial disaster, wreaking havoc not only in the U.S., but across the world. BRICS and other developing countries are worried that the U.S. dollar debt could make their native economies crash. Keeping the U.S. dollar in reserves is now seen as a threat that could undo years of financial stability. So think about that for a second here, okay? Now, amid the economic turbulence, Bank of America has issued a warning about a possible U.S. dollar collapse. Moreover, this allows BRICS to spread the de-dollarization initiative across the world. Read here, and I will link this in the description if you guys want to read some more information on that. To know how many sectors in the U.S. will be affected if BRICS ditches the dollar for trade, a decline in the U.S. dollar allows BRICS to lead other developing countries into de-dollarization. And, I've been saying this, the BRICS nations are very, very careful as to how they're phrasing their, new banking infrastructure. They're saying, no, we're not trying to de-dollarize the world, but, we're just using new technology. And, the fact that this new technology does exist, we can now use our own currencies in trade. We do not have to rely on the U.S. dollar, but inadvertently, and what they're not saying is inadvertently, this is going to lend to the U.S. dollar collapse, U.S. dollar dominance going down. Even Vladimir Putin said it in that Tucker Carlson interview that, a decade ago, or I don't know what the timeline was, but basically saying before, the majority, obviously, of trade was done through the U.S. dollar. Now, they're doing a lot of their trade in their own fiat currencies over DLT technology and U.S. dollar dominance. The amount of trade that Russia and China, for example, do in US dollars has diminished to less than 30%, something like that. And it used to be over 50%, 60%, something like that. So very interesting how now Bank of America is also coming out and warning us. Now, guys, this is Bank of America. This is not some crazy tinfoil hat pundit. This is Bank of America issuing this warning, which brings me to this. Dread Saved posting this, okay? Hey, XRP and Riddler haters, this one is for you. Who remembers Tony Valentino, very, very prominent in the XRP community? Back in the day, this tweet was from February of 2022. When the BRICS nations unveil their new payment system, and China in particular reveals their gold-backed crypto, do you think the Western world is going to just sit back and panic? Do you think they don't know what's coming? Or do you think they're preparing? XRP will restore the balance of power. Now, if you guys didn't catch the video I did this morning, Rostin Benham and the FIT Act and Bearable Guy connecting it to Lodestar number 3. Check out that video, guys. I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Moving towards regulation, the molasses now moving. Maybe that jar has been tipped over. So I got to give credit to Dawdler for XRP. He was the one who sent me this. SBF and FTX needed to happen, okay, to bring in the new financial system. Those who are in the know are not worried about this. Guys, it's all a distraction. This is what we needed in order to usher in a new financial system. It's basically a plan within plan. As Bearable Guy keeps saying, it's plans within plans. They set something up, make it look like, oh, now there's a reason to do X, Y, and Z, and now they're trying to implement X, Y, and Z. It's all orchestrated. At least that is one theory. Now, this is a tweet thread, a great tweet thread from Tony Valentino from December of just last year. So a few months ago, Susan Athey attended the Bilderberg Group in 2014 alongside Christine Lagarde and other bankers. I did not know that. Susan Athey, she was the one alongside Robert Mitchnick who created the XRP price calculator. They attended the Bilderberg Group in 2014. For months after the meeting, she joined the Ripple board, okay? This was the takeover year. She knows banks have no choice, and that's why they are hungry for some Ripple tech and XRP. Again, guys, from 2014, they already knew the system was in trouble. After 2014, the globalist deep state began growing on Ripple like a cancer. Just have a look at Ripple's board today. Have a look at the companies and banks falling to the feet of Ripple. The IMF opened the door for Ripple. Brad got to attend the central bank's meeting in Switzerland. Remember that, guys, from 2019. Another piece to the Bearable Guy clues. I believe Bearable Guy was the one who actually pointed us to that meeting. Point is, XRP belongs to the globalists. Ripple is only a custodian for now to distribute XRP as bailouts to failing banks globally. XRP is being set up to become the dominant global settlement bridge asset, and this will replace the US dollar standard. New world currency / order. All it takes is time to get the software integrated with companies such as Finastra, who will provide structure to thousands of banks and companies. Ripple doesn't need 10,000 plus direct customers. All they need is this to be done with permission by the US Fed and the globalist deep state. So notice that too. I talk about all these partnerships, even some just in this video this morning with Commonwealth, their partnership with Ripple, how they're now closing down branches. I talked about what did I talk about? I talked about TerraPay and Fardan Exchange. I talked about DZ Bank. So all these partnerships integrating, right? But they don't need these partnerships. This is why they partnered up with the big guys, the Finastras, the ACI Worldwides, the Temenoses of the world, so that they can integrate 10,000 plus customers indirectly. Because once XRP is allowed to be the dominant settlement bridge currency, this will mean an instant end to the US dollar reserve status. Nobody can do that without permission or a predetermined plan. Okay, billions of dollars into XRP escrow at the right value can keep the deep state wealthy for centuries. What you see today with regard to the bitching and complaining about no regulations, etc., is just a time-buying tactic to continue working out their plan in the background while keeping the value of XRP lower, thus scaring away retail investors. So, if you do believe in this, and you are seeing cryptocurrencies like, coincidentally, XRP and XLM very, very low. And, some are suggesting that XLM is going to play a large role in this financial sector too. The World Bank did consider XRP and XLM both stable coins. Still wrapping my head around that one. But both of these coins are performing in the same kind of way. This is why they're scaring away retail investors, but it's a done deal. There is no plan B, says Tony Valentino. The bottom line is the bottom line. To understand what is being done, XRP cannot be done without approval from the very top. Nations have been invaded and leaders killed for challenging the US dollar. XRP is meant to retire the US dollar standard. So the sunsetting of the US dollar. Remember this video I did, guys, about a year ago, a banger of a video. I posted it on January the 16th, 2023, an interview with Willie, suggesting just that. XRP is going to be responsible for helping to sunset the US dollar. Listen to this. He also reiterates this idea that XRP is going to be the basis for the new system once the old dollar is phased out.
We finally got to the point where my forecast for the last 5 years is coming to the fore. I said there will come a day when the import supply is interrupted because the foreigners who export to the U.S. and create our imported supply will refuse the dollar. Look what we're doing to the dollar. We're printing it, allowing Wall Street to steal a third of the COVID stimulus. We're giving money to households. We're undermining the integrity of the dollar, and the foreigners say, you've hit the Weimar field. We don't want your stinking dollar. That's interrupted the supply chain. Okay, inflation is not going to get fixed unless the supply chain is improved. Inflation is not going to get fixed until we get to the new system. I'm talking about the dollar sunset. We're finally there. We're talking about replacements to the dollar in the next few months. You remember back in 99, Europe had to turn in their Deutschmarks, Italian lira, French francs, and Spanish pesetas. They had to turn them in. And Greek drachmas, they had to turn them in for euros. There's a 90-day period. We're going to have something like that. Turn in your old dollars and get the new ones. I believe Kennedy is on the new $100 bill. And they're all plastic.
New dollar sunset, guy, similar to how European countries had to, hand in their fiat for euros. So he talks about a 5-year forecast and how this is coming true. The supply chain is getting messed up. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there, but I will link this full video up here in the top right-hand corner. A great video from Jim Willie. In that video, he does also mention XRP, by the way, so if you want to check that out, you can find it there. But really, this is why Bitcoin maxis can forget about those $250,000 and $1 million Bitcoin valuations. That won't happen, says Tony Valentino. If that were to happen, that would mean the US dollar is worth less than toilet paper, but the powers that be just won't allow such a challenge to the monetary system. And this is why Ripple is proud to say that they work with the system and work with central banks, etc. What they actually mean is that they are working with the powers that be and working with their directives, and that is evident from their board of directors. This is how it works. The Ripple board has one person representing the globalist deep state for the Americas, Europe, and Asia. And if you guys don't remember yesterday too, I did talk about those 3 connections coincidentally to these 3 countries in yesterday's, yesterday afternoon's video? Maybe, I'll link it up here. Anyway, this is how it has always been. The Trilateral Commission keeps them together. Joel Katz and Brad just get their orders from the board. So there you have it. Another interesting theory here from Tony Valentino. Considering now we are seeing the BRICS nations unveiling their new payment system. Again, Tony said this back in 2022. And just the other day, BRICS did announce the creation of their independent payment system based on cryptocurrency and blockchain. Bank of America is also warning of the dollar collapse. So what do you guys think? Still a good time to buy? XLM trading just under 14 cents. And XRP, my favorite, trading at 62 as of the time of this recording. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.